to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Total protonic reversal.
Protonic reversal.
Protonic Reversal with your host, Conan Neutron. Broadcasting from a secret underground lair in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
A gigantic middle finger to everything that is rotten about music, rock and roll, and corporate power.
The thing is, though, if you don't laugh, you're going to go on a killing spree with sharpened nails.
Confidence of a hero or a fool. I wasn't exactly certain which.
Could not be more professional.
It's only one I choose to devote my life to. That's okay.
It means something. It means something.
And take that away.
You know, that's my take on it. What's yours?
Protonic Reversal.
That's like a science thing, right?
That's right. Is a science thing, is a science place, is a scientific fact. But we are all up in your face. It is time once again for the one, the only Protonic Reversal. That's right. But, pleased I am to be talking to transatlantically to Tim from the excellent part Chimp. Tim, welcome to the show, man.
Hi, thank you. Hello.
You sound beautiful. Okay. I know it's a little, we do the show live. Some people don't even realize that. This is obviously a long-running podcast, but it's a little bit later for you.
Yes. For me.
Yeah. So apologies for that, but thank you very much for taking the time.
Yeah, I'm glad you apologized.
Just get that out of the way. You got a new record, man. Are you aware of this? You aware that you have a new record?
Yeah, it's weird that it's not out for ages, so it is a bit surreal. So
it's a banger too, and you got a lot going on with it. How long did it take for that to come together? Of course, the one we're talking about is Drool, which is a
Drool. Drool. It didn't take. Well, it's a long story. But it didn't take that long to get together. We actually recorded it in a day, so in that sense, it didn't take long to get together. But I guess it took a while between the two albums. The last album before that, so about 3 years. We got we got a new bass player in that time, so yeah, things kind of got weird getting a new bass player in and trying to write songs with a new person. It was all good though. It all worked out.
It always changes a little bit whenever you kind of change the the different constituent components of the potion, so to speak. So,
yeah, and we got kicked out of our studio as well, so we didn't have a home. The home we'd had for like 10 years or something, and that was really strange. So yeah, having to find somewhere to rehearse again, was just very fucking odd. So
yeah. Oh, sure, absolutely. So you got a band that's charitably able to say it's been around. You guys know your voice. You know what you do, but you have all these different change elements around the making of this, as well as the fact that it's kind of like a weird, bizarre, chaotic time for human beings, let alone for bands.
Yeah.
So the recording of it, maybe not so dramatic, but like the lead up, kind of 5 obstructions, perhaps.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I mean, I don't want it to sound like it was too boring. There wasn't a great fucking rock and roll story attached to it, but I'll try not to bore you. It's just it's pretty standard, band meets song tries to become real, and going to the studio, record it, and it just so happened that we recorded it a few weeks before lockdown happened, and then so we couldn't do anything with it for a year. We couldn't finish it off for almost 6-7 months or something, and then got a chance to finish it off, and it was just a bit weird, just stretched out a bit,
Yeah,
probably a good thing in the end, because I actually managed to write some lyrics for it instead of not having anything as usual when I get to record them.
Is that something you normally kind of do crunch time, just hey?
Yeah, who doesn't, right? Yeah.
And there's different schools. But
Isn't that how you're supposed to do it? I know. No, you're supposed to write your lyrics first, aren't you? And then you go, "Hey, I got the song. I got the song. No, I got the words. Let's put a song to it and stuff." But no. We record the music, and then I go and do the vocals, and I fucking drive our engineer crazy by trying to write them at the same time as singing them.
So is that you're kind of going through? I mean, do you have like the sounds worked out and you kind of apply to it? Is that like the Iggy school? I guess you would call that, for lack of a better term.
Well, I've got the noises in my head, but not the words. Yeah,
right.
Is that?
Yeah. And I think a lot of more aggressive rock and roll can kind of, for lack of a better term, can kind of come off that way, because if you have the sounds, like maybe the sounds can inform the lyric, or something that you just come naturally from the primordial conscious. When the red light goes on, then suddenly
it is a bit like that. Yeah, I'm not the greatest sort of vocalist or anything, so it's more like there's a noise that fits in there and it sounds a bit like that word, so yeah. and then sometimes miraculously sentences form, so pretty random.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's certainly a time honored. Have you always written in that way, as far as the other records?
Yeah. I mean, like, pretty much it kind of goes that way. Sometimes I get a bit of like extra time to work on the lyrics, which is thankful. And like this time it was a bit like that, so just because of the lockdown, that I couldn't get into a studio to finish off the vocals for 6 months, so actually listened to the songs a lot more and tried to write things down. Whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, we'll find out.
So the extra cure, almost like a form following function kind of situation, and then the way the opportunity to do anything other than that.
Yeah, exactly that, because my work kind of stopped, and there were no gigs, and so what else do you do? Gardening, cooking, bread.
Everyone was very busy with bread for
a week, so. Boring. Got bored with bread quite quickly.
As it turns out, bread was not
no.
Of the things that were lost.
No, exactly.
Who could have predicted?
Yeah, I know. Weird, huh?
So you're, I mean, I guess depending on if we're counting, COVID as a break or not, since you recorded it, this is, it's been about 3 years since the last record, since the Cheap Thriller. There's obviously, you alluded to some changes. What kind of stuff were you going through with this record?
Joe, our bass player, moved from Liverpool to New York. So we kind of used to him being quite far away, because we're in London, but New York was kind of,
it's a lot.
That's really far. Yeah. So that was kind of weird, but like it was quite cool, because we got another bass player, and Joe's still in the band, so we have 2 bass players now, which is brilliant. So we got Bob in London and Joe in New York, and when we recorded the record, Joe came over and we had the 2 of them in the studio, which was fucking amazing.
So that's interesting. So then does that inform how the songs are put together in the way that you could kind of bring was it Ned's Atomic Dustbin that had the 2 bass players? I'm trying to think of
it. Was, yeah. They always come up for me when I mention the 2 bass players. So good, great. We're working on the hair.
Yeah. Quite up to Ned's level, but next time.
No, it was great, because obviously we'd written pretty much sort of 90% of the record with our new bass player Bob, and sporadically, whilst trying to find a new place to rehearse, which was kind of just like, so everything's kind of up in the air, and all the songs were a bit fucking weird, and like not in a good way. It was kind of just like we were like we were so used to having our studio. We were kind of spoilt by having that place, and then not having it was just like, fucking hell, this sucks. We got 3 hours to rehearse, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like, I'm not used to that. So we kind of wrote these songs, and they were like, they sound okay. That's great. Let's go and record them. And booked the recording, and then Joe said, I'm going to come over, and obviously hadn't heard many of the songs, which isn't really a problem for Joe. He kind of just comes in and just goes, right, like listens to them a couple of times, and then goes, right, okay, I'll do something, right, and he does, and it's usually fucking great, and it worked really well with the two bass players together. Like, it was nice. It was really nice. It's more fun that way as well.
And also, well, sure, absolutely. Why wouldn't it be? And there's, I suppose, a certain degree of when you're a band that has been around for a bit and kind of knows their voice and what you can and can't do, it can be exciting to have something different. All right, let's see. I mean, it could be scary as hell.
Yeah, we keep ourselves on the edge, And I did that purposely, also, like not purposefully, but when we booked the recording, it was for 3 days, because we had, Joe's coming over. We'll have like 3 days. Right. That'll be plenty of time. We'll bang this out like in 3 days, no problem. But I messed up the booking, and managed to book the studio for 1 day. We ended up having only 1 day to record it, so that was fun. So and we're all getting on a bit, and we haven't got the old energy levels like they used to be. So it was kind of like, and the songs weren't that familiar, so it was kind of like, I guess, yes, it worked out. I think it worked out really well. Just like, fuck it, that'll do. Sort of try and do as few takes as possible, and make stuff up as we go along. So it kind of
going to go the Steely Dan route just from a lack of time, right? I mean, you don't have the ability to overthink things at the time.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And we didn't, and that with lockdown and Joe going back to New York, we didn't have any time to sort of do it again, So, yeah.
But what you did have was the opportunity to sort of give some thought to the words,
some love, proper Byron-esque attention, yeah.
The time not spent baking bread, of course. I mean,
I baked very little bread. That was not a real thing.
But it's but it is interesting as a cultural touchstone. Everybody knows what you're talking. You make that.
Yeah, that's true. But so I did put a little more effort into the words. I even wrote stuff down. I've got a little book. I'm looking at it now, but which is kind of cool. I'm going to I like this. Some stuff. But, this is the lyric book. I've never had a lyric book before, and that was the name. The working title of the album was called "Thanks a Bunch."
That could be a great final album or album before, like,
I think that was the plan. Yeah, this is it. Thanks a bunch, everyone. Nice one. But for some reason, Drool just kind of became the title. It's such a great sort of word. I've always been a bit of a drooler all my life, so I don't know, kind of made sense.
It's evocative, evocative phrase. Nothing wrong with that.
Cool.
So you've got your notated book. You have your I forget what they're called, but the things you mark your place on.
Oh no! Oh yeah, place markers. Yeah, the song. Yeah, those little taggers. The little taggers.
So did you feel that you were, with the extra time,
Well, I managed to put taggers on stuff.
Yeah, yes.
With the extra time.
Yeah. But did you feel that you got to kind of try some different things that maybe you wouldn't if you just were, dealing with the red light fever of, hey, go? Well,
to be honest, when it came down to it, like because of lockdown, I couldn't get into the studio, and then there was the lockdown was lifted, and Ben, who mixed our album, he's got a studio down in Somerset, and he was like, I'm open again, do you want to come down and do the vocals? It's like, okay. So we still did that in a day,
right,
and a bit, and the next morning. So it was nice to get out of London, out of lockdown, and into a studio for a couple of days in the countryside, which was fucking great. But it's still kind of like managed, even though I had stuff written down and ready to go, it was still like this isn't right, and had to rewrite stuff and stuff. But it was cool. It was great. It was really nice, like, to do it that way. But it wasn't like had extra time to actually record the vocals. Just the time to write them. Yeah.
Just think about them in preparation for doing them.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. I've had all this time. They're gonna be. This is it. It's gonna be amazing. People are gonna be fucking blown away by the depth and the these vocals, but the lyrics. But no, the lyrics are still fucking total nonsense. So.
Well, but then by the same token, you know, not every band is going to be trying to do like, I don't know, like a Leonard Cohen thing or something where it's like, oh, the music is almost scary or something.
Well, you know, a lot of bands do, don't they? Don't they try, or at least they try, and you know, I guess sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I don't know. It's not really us. It's not really our thing. It's definitely not my thing. It's always been more like it's all about the riffs, man.
Yeah, it always kind of seemed like the vocals were from the school of thought of it being like almost another instrument in the band.
Yeah.
To like fit nicely with everything, not to be like, hey, here's something floating over everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. No, it's like it's hear that noise. It's another bit of the song. So yeah. Well,
it's funny to me because when the very first part Chimp that I became aware of was the one that it was the rare case that I'm not sure if it happens so much now, of just being like, I saw the record cover, which was a Thriller, which is the I'm familiar not only with the artist but from
really?
Yes,
Peter Elson.
I could pull the one of the books out that
amazing.
The other room. I don't know how deeply you want to discuss that, but of course it's a very I mean, it's, if you know that artist, you're like, oh, awesome, it's that.
Oh, cool. That's amazing. I mean, there aren't many people. I mean, like, everyone knows that's like it's the sci-fi book cover style of, like, everyone's seen those before, but like I've never met anyone apart from my sort of close circle, me and Johnny, basically, and Ian, who kind of know those books. So I mean, never mind. But like, those great space battle sort of fucking crazy stuff from my childhood. You know, it's like I grew up with those books and just like those pictures and just like
the pulp sci-fi. I mean, it's such an evocative image where you got, like, to describe the people that haven't seen it. It's like an astronaut, you know, basically shooting a gun, a laser gun, whatever, and there's all these hands like reaching up in the sci-fi horror true fashion of like, oh, this guy's fucked.
What happens next?
Yeah, exactly. And it's where I just saw the record cover, I'm like, I am positive that I am going to like that.
That's good. That's really nice, because it was a real step away from our normal book covers, record covers, which are basically shitty pictures drawn by me. which we've actually gone back to now. We've reverted to type, which is good.
Thank God.
We've gone from the sublime Peter Elson masterpiece, to back to my drooly pictures.
It's like, that's done.
Yeah, I got a box of up there, but like, this is this is from the this album. but I didn't do this.
That's
I didn't do this. This is our friend Billy Sue did this, and it's fucking cool.
So what manner of, it's like a plant of like is it like asparagus? Like what? I'm not entirely certain. Like it kind of looks in asparagus.
Space asparagus.
Asparagus. But strangely enough, still smells the same.
Yeah, and they've got eyes, a lot of eyes.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's the vodka. It's like the there was that trope for a while, putting the googly eyes on things not normally have googly eyes, and this was the space asparagus with the googly eyes.
That's the one. Yeah.
Well, and so that's a good question, because you guys are kind of all over the place. Do you ever have like an idea for like what the album art should look like ahead of time, or does it kind of let you know after the record's done?
Yeah, sort of rarely. It evolves. Sort of throughout the process, and usually last minute. Again, but like sometimes like the title comes up, like Chart Pimp. The first one came up before.
Well, that's just an excellent. There's a name for that particular.
Yeah, what is that?
I can't remember, but it's someone will tell me.
Yeah,
but
anyway, yeah, that was a cool one, and then they just appear. I don't know how everyone else does it really. Doesn't everyone just do it last minute? Like, I've got this picture, I've got this drawing, I've got this like fucking scroll I did. I don't know, but as I said, like it was going to be called Thanks a Bunch for ages, and then that was the working title, and suddenly it was just like, no, it's Drool. Drool is one of the songs on the album as well, and it's just like Drool just is us. It says a lot about us and our music, and I think that's what we sound like.
you sound like the album cover.
Yeah. It sounded just just relax and drool into your lap. You'll be fine.
It seems like you guys always kind of had like an idea of something you're going for. I think of like, I think it's B2 that's on Chart Pimp. That was definitely one that immediately I was like, oh, hey, that's cool. That's an interesting kind of corner that they're going down there.
Yeah, you're quite astute. That was like the first song we actually, the dead giveaway in the title is when we tuned everything to B, and take it from there, guys.
I also
another 4 albums later, same tuning. We thought we were going to be really clever and like just go like, oh wow, B tuning, this is going to be amazing. And the next record we'll do another crazy weird tuning, like fucking Sonic Youth do crazy. We just stuck with all B, and yeah.
I'm sure that would be a fine idea if you had like a team of people to hand you guitars and tune them ahead of time.
Yeah,
but
from a B, all B. But yeah. So we're on about B52 now.
Yeah, and well, because in America the B2 is the B2 Palmer, like that's something that you think of as well. But it's one of the things that it could mean any number of. But I mean, did you have an idea that? I mean, other than like, hey, this is cool. Like, were you like, oh no, let's stick with this. There's a lot more we can do with this, or was it just like, it's already?
No, it was immediately like when we did it and recorded. I think there's 2 songs, B1 and B2 on that.
Yeah,
record.
First one is B1, I think, if I remember.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and it was just like, and then when we were rehearsing, we go into that tuning, and it was just like, it's fucking annoying to tune back up again. Like,
you gotta
to normal drop D or whatever, and then but and B, it sounds fucking great. This is really great. It's good for droning. It's good for just drooling, and it's kind of served us pretty well through over the albums.
Sure, yeah.
I love it. And there was a time when I thought, this is fucked. We can't do any more songs in this tuning. No way. And that's when I kind of lost momentum a little bit. And everything was just sounding just kind of rubbish and the same. And then like about 6 months later, I realized, oh yeah, but rubbish and the same is what we do. And I really like it.
Well, there's certainly something to be said for for keeping some level of consistency, especially because
don't fuck with the formula, as they say.
Like Ramones, AC/DC.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Parchment. Yeah, of course.
No one's necessarily looking for someone's wild psychedelia record if genre that, but sometimes that works. I don't know. There's nothing wrong too with also exploring the form.
No, it's true, and it just seems to really work with us and the people in the band. It's just we I don't know, maybe it's our sort of psychic note that we're all in tune with, and I don't know, it's just worked out kind of nicely. Yeah.
There's a pretty long relationship with doing stuff with Rock Action. Was that something that you do? Did you feel like that was a good fit for you guys as far as ethos?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was just made total sense at the beginning. Plus, no one else was going to ask us. Stuart, we've known for years from Mogwai and my old band Ligament. We played lots of shows together, and it was just like, it was that time when Ligament sort of finished and Parchment kind of sort of took over the sound that was Ligament, and it was just like at the same time we were hanging out a lot with Mogwai guys and playing a lot of shows, and we're into that sort of whole and they're just into it, man. And they were really nice guys and just really believed in us and stuff, which was really, really sweet of them. I think it was a good few albums, they put out, and yeah. But this one we've changed label just because I think it was just like, we need a bit of a change, something change something in the formula. This is when it's right to fuck with the formula, I think. Sometimes you got to fuck with the formula.
Right. Sometimes you do
little caveat there. Yeah. Like, sometimes it's okay. I said don't fuck with the formula. Okay, fuck with it sometimes. You got to fuck with it sometimes.
Yeah. Some exceptions prove the rule, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like this was just like, it just presented itself. We had an album, and just like, Joe from Wrong Speed, we've known even longer probably than Stu. Maybe not, actually. But so
a few months back, and it was a pleasure to talk to them. They spun a cracking record of their own. That was
yeah. And it was just so perfect that Joe started his label, and it just like, we should do that. We should put out a record with Joe, because it's just like it's just the same space. We're all in the same space, I think. So it was nice.
I think it's easier to do that. And of course, just like Hey Colossus, the records are distributed in the US by the Mighty Learning Curve Records, which I am currently wearing the appeal of. That's actually not uncommon. I think I have like 3 separate Learning Curve hoodies or so. So it's either that or the very tattered Drive Like Jehu one that I have. But
nice.
That's it. One of the best American labels, and I'm not just saying that because my man.
I need a hoodie. I've never had. Well, I don't have a hoodie. I'm gonna start getting into shape.
There you go.
I put on about 4 kilos over lockdown. So, I need, and I sent Rainer a T-shirt recently, and he hasn't reciprocated with any Learning Curve merch. So I might have to...
What a world. We'll have to get on him for that if he's listening.
Yeah.
Better get to the stamps.com machine. Send it off, buddy.
Yeah. You have that over there. We don't have that here, I don't think.
You're not missing that much.
We have the Royal Mail. We have the Queen. So
Yeah, that VAT right now, but we're not gonna get in. That's a different podcast.
what? Yeah.
It's a real pain in the balls to send anything to more so than normal.
Fucking hell, man. Yeah, it's just gone insane. Like I fucking like sending stuff to America. It's embarrassing, you know, like charging what we have to charge. It's just the postage is becoming more than the actual product.
Yeah, that's that. It's like, oh, here's your your $12 record that'll cost $20.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
And also, it may not even get there because, I don't know.
Yeah.
How was that an answer? Okay. But again, that I have very strong
life. Yeah, but that's also one of the great things about doing this record with Joe and Rainer Learning Curve. You know, we got that. It's nice to have the record coming out in the States so people don't get fucking burnt by buying the record off us over here. You know, it's like,
well, and it
makes sense.
Yeah, because otherwise people are gonna, the level of cost benefit analysis to even get one otherwise is going to be so high that you're just going to get, you're not going to get the casual fan. You're only going to get like the diehards that are basically willing to pay.
Who wants those guys?
Well, it's nice. It's nice to have the ability for the fan to check it out and
we're all about the casuals.
Yeah, exactly. That's everybody says it. Haven't you heard that?
Do you have casuals? I think that's a British thing. The casuals, like the casuals, is like a sort of scene, like a fashion thing.
Oh no, I'm not familiar with that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Wasn't aware it was an actual thing. I just was assuming you were defining it.
Oh no. With the casual fan is a different thing. But like when I said we're all about the casuals, and it's like it sounds like the casuals is in the fashion statement of the 80s, which was just like I was never a casual. I couldn't fit in with the casuals. It was I don't think they were very popular. I wasn't.
Well, Tim, I'd like to do this thing that I do with folks, not all the time, but a lot of times when there's the new record out, and that's just kind of go through song by song, and you can just like tell me a little bit about each one, whether it's
my book,
lyrics, any like remembrances, recording it, funny stories, whatever, Now you get your
stories. They're all written down here in my book.
I was gonna say the fact that it's annotated is that's it.
I'll try it without the book. No, that'd be interesting. See if I can remember stuff.
See how much and then you can true it up with the actual data.
Yeah.
So first song on Drool.
I haven't got a funny anecdote about each song in my book though. It's purely just bullshit lyrics. It's pure bullshit in there.
If you have a funny anecdote, I will listen to it.
Okay.
You do not. It will not be docked. Yeah, exactly. Purely elective. So you're starting off with Back from the Dead.
Okay, funny story. I haven't got that one. It's next door in the kitchen. I'm not going to go in there. But Johnny, our drummer, who lives in Peckham, which is just down the road from where I live, but he gets really interesting stuff posted through his letterbox, like these little leaflets and things. This one's cool.
Jack Chick. Cool. Yeah. Dark Dungeons. This is so these are very well known.
Chick. What, do you know this?
Yes.
This is a thing. It is American. It is American, this is like comes from our local Living Word of Faith outreach ministry, which is in Peckham Park Road, which is where Johnny lives. So, but it's all from America. This?
Yeah, very much so. So this is
okay.
It has it's been his campaign to make these comics. There are thousands of different ones.
Really,
and are in that same exact style as what you're holding right there, and that have that same style of artwork and the really just grandiosely. Overly dramatic plot lines and he is also notoriously litigious because there were some people that tried to do like parodies of it and things like that. They heard.
Oh, okay.
But it's definitely amongst the punk rock world here. Everybody knows Jack Chick.
Jack Chick.
Yeah, that's crazy that it made all the way over there. I mean, because they're like a dandelion. You know, it's like you just like they just sprout up and you see them in all these different places. I have no idea how he does.
No, I've never. I mean, like we get lots of kind of like religious pamphlets through our doors and stuff, but I've never seen these ones before. But like,
but these are actually entertaining, right? Because they're
great. They're really cool little stories. I mean, this one's about Dungeons and Dragons, and then the other one, the Back from the Dead, was about like a guy who died and comes back from the dead, and so was a bit horrified by what he saw on the other side. So decided to change his ways. But it's good shit, man. It's good fodder.
There's a great one that has a fella lurking outside the window with a very just nefarious look on his face, and I believe this is years since I've seen it, but I believe his T-shirt just says "sickos" on it to indicate. and if I remember correctly, I think somebody made a T-shirt in that style that just said "sickos," and like so cool. Thought and I almost fell over like laughing when I saw it. He's like,
that is brilliant. Yeah, there's all sorts of. I mean, like even in this one, I mean, like there's some great song titles in here.
Yeah,
Blackleaf. It's her Dungeons and Dragons character, Blackleaf. I mean, come on, it's fucking just brilliant. But Back from the Dead. That was one of those. That's where that came from.
Beautiful. That's again.
And we're not really a zombie band, you know. I mean, like. I love zombie movies and stuff, and it did end up being quite lyrically kind of about, it's basically just like that story from the pamphlet, but it's it's kind of a bit zombie-ish, I suppose. And, I feel
like we're all kind of coming back from the dead after this last year of quarantine.
Yeah. Thanks.
So beautiful. So second song is Wallow.
Yeah. I mean, again, that was a classic one of like, we had that song, that tune that it's like the lead bit which goes all the way through the song, and it's just fucking really, really hard to sing along to. And normally, if it gets too difficult to sing along to, we just fucking drop it, and or and because we can't do instrumental songs. Instrumental songs are a massive cop out, so
that's fine.
So if I can't sing anything comfortably, then fuck it off. But this was kind of worked out really well, but it was quite hard. So I just rambled some words in it, and then it sort of turned into the song Wallow, just because Wallow just fit in the tune, in the
it's
space.
A solid too. It can kind of
I really like it. Yeah, I mean it's kind of turned in like as I've been sort of like writing it and trying to practice it, because I suppose we've got to at some point do something with the shows and stuff. But it turned into like a little sort of murder mystery story, I guess. If we ever have a story, there's usually some sort of death and doom involved in it. But yeah, this is kind of like a bit of a murder story, but nothing specific. It's just love and death,
Have you had to drop songs before because you just couldn't figure out how or where the vocals are?
I mean, I think a lot of the stuff on Cheap Thriller was songs we kind of demoed that didn't make it onto Thriller, just because they were just like, too fucking hard to play and sing at the same time, So we kind of, if they drop out of the live set, because that's all we do really, we play shows, then we kind of they drop out of the sort of the playing. But like you could argue that like, but then you're recording an album, you might as well record them, and we always demoed them, and some of them did make it on the album, but we just never played them live, and they kind of evolved. Songs evolve with us after we've written them and finished them. They kind of turn into another song afterwards. It's kind of weird like that. Yeah. But yeah. So the answer is a lot of the time, if it's too difficult to play, then they get dropped, and they end up on a on Cheap Thriller, on a outtakes album.
I mean, have you always been of the mindset of if it can't be played live, it's not a proper song? Like, has that always been?
No, it hasn't. Don't get me wrong, it hasn't stopped us trying. It just usually means we just like, oh fuck, after the gig we just like, I'm not fucking playing that song again.
Yeah. It's
embarrassing.
Well, it's not like there's any shortage of songs.
No one knows either. No one gives a shit, really. It's just another noise coming from us. And Tim couldn't fucking sing that song. It was obviously, it's like, because that usually means all the songs. Because I also have a terrible memory, so which isn't funny, but it means I kind of just forget all the words to my own songs anyway, so I make stuff up on the night anyway, or fluff it somehow. But like I really try, and it's like, the intent is there to get it sort of like as it's supposed to be, but often it doesn't, as with the songs and the guitar playing and the sounds and the amps, everything. It's just like everything changes, it's never the same twice. It's just weird. It's random. I like it that way though.
Is that like a natural outgrowth, or is that more of like a plan of action?
I think I'm just very careless. It could be. I mean, I love what we do, and I love it to death. I've been doing it long enough, and but I've not learned from all those years of like how to sort of maintain my equipment and learn words and learn how to play guitar. It's just like we just do what we do. Luckily, fucking the rest of the band are brilliant and kind of sort of keep it together, but gives me sort of free license to just be a big pool of drool.
You've established that.
Yeah, it works.
One in the Eye is the third song.
Yeah. Probably no story there, but I like these tunes. They're all I like them all, but that one no story, just like a nice little silly riff. There's always like, I mean, like all our riffs are silly, but there's always one, like on the last album there's a song called Namakuji, which just goes down, like note by note by note by note by note by note, all the way down. There's no sort of skipping around. It's just like fret by fret, it just goes all the way down. And I kind of like silly riffs like that, and this one was just like it's up and down. It was just like, it just made sense. It was nice and stupid. It sounded good. There it is. Nice, stupid, and sounds good. Right. Okay. But yeah, no great tale with the lyrics. I could check my notes, but I'm pretty sure it was just daftness. Yeah.
How do you characterize a silly riff versus, I don't know, a serious riff? I'm not sure what the antonym would be.
Well, a serious riff. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. A serious riff. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I come up with lots of riffs that are kind of like, I've heard before. This this is what riffs are supposed to sound like. And then there are riffs that just like, what the fuck's that? You know what I mean? It's just like, man, that's just stupid. I like it.
I was gonna say, it doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just
no. I mean, it means like that's just daft, and I think that a big element of Part Chimp is daftness. It's never been serious sort of like outlook on what rock songs are supposed to sound like. You know, it's a lot of bands kind of a lot of music, great music, takes itself very seriously, you know, and you hear that in the riffs and the intent and the sound and the music and the lyrics and everything. It's just like they mean it, man. It's like we totally mean it. And so I'm not saying we don't mean it, but it's like it's got to be like, it's just got to be fun, you know. It has to be fun. It has to be it make us laugh, you know. It's just like some of the songs, some of the riffs we do literally make us laugh when we're playing them, you know. So that's got to be a good thing. And I think it comes across when we play them, you know, that it makes us feel good to play them. And we're just not very intense people, you know. We're just some fun-loving guys, you know. If it ain't fun, why do it, you know? Well,
there does seem like there's an element of the unexpected to what you do, like putting that forward of like, oh, that wouldn't necessarily be what I would think of. that would. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're doing anything groundbreaking. It's just like I mean, maybe people just wouldn't sort of, expect us to carry on doing that again and again. So why are they doing that? That's ludicrous.
No, that was not what I meant, but
I know. Yeah,
for sure. So then, okay, so clever.
Okay, clever. Yeah, this is again another really silly song, but was one of the songs that I personally really loved. This song, and I kind of that was one of the songs that's sort of one of the oldest ones that I've just been trying to do for years, and kind of know the rest of the band sort of liked it but didn't really get it. And I think it was one of those things that, I don't know, you're in a band, right? And it's like when you record like some practices and stuff, and something comes out of a jam, and you go, okay, there's a song, and then you turn that into a song, and there's something about it, you go, oh, that's just, what the fuck is that? That's really good. I really like that, but everyone sort of played it differently and wrong at the point, but I really liked that about it. And it was kind of like that. It was like everyone played it wrong because they didn't really understand it, including myself. And what came out of the sort of practice recording, because we recorded pretty much everything, is like, that's it. That's a song there. And it stuck with me for fucking years, and then finally got it down.
Opportunities.
Yeah. So that happens a fair bit. That sort of demo thing where you go like, yes, that thing, Johnny, where you failed to complete your drum roll and you twatted yourself in the knee. Do that again. and again and again.
in sound, if not in personal injury.
Yeah.
Do you are you guys, do you do that a lot? Do you record practices and listen back to them a lot? Is that something that?
Well, we used to because we were, you know, we had the amazing sort of idiot luck of just like falling into a place where we had the studio, which I built with my friend Jason, whose place it was, and we built this great rehearsal place which turned into a recording studio, which was just fucking great. Dropout Studios, and we had all our gear there. It was all set up. It was all ready to go, and it was just a brilliant place, and it was kind of a bit of a legendary spot for lots of bands, and we recorded lots of bands down there and stuff, and it was just really nice. And so we were kind of very lucky to have like that sort of setup there, and we just recorded everything pretty nicely, and you know 4 mics or whatever, but it was still, there were nice mics going through a nice desk, and it was great. It was really handy.
Kind of the barrier of entry is kind of lowered when you have your stuff all set up and ready to go, and where's the cable? Did we,
Yeah, and you don't have someone going like, "Oh, we got to be out of here in like 2 hours."
Right.
Might as well start packing up now. Yeah, but so yeah, a lot of stuff, and then I I'm quite sort of, I guess, anal like that, just not that I want to have tons and tons and tons of rehearsal tapes, but it's just nice. It's just a good way to write songs, and you just like hearing little snippets of something, the band pissing about, whatever, and it's just like, that's something there that you wouldn't have remembered or sort of picked out without recording stuff. I just say record everything. It does mean we have a lot of data kicking about. But
I've heard it described as panning for gold.
Yeah, it is. It's like shit sifting. Yeah.
That's I suppose a much more evocative phrase, but that works. I feel fantastic.
Oh yeah. The music for that. I mean, yeah, that was probably one of the sessions, one of our pre-rehearsal sessions when I was just setting stuff up, multi-tracking things. Again, having the studio there, did a lot of that kind of stuff on my own anyway. So recorded the music for that, and again, it was like something that just was on a fucking hard drive somewhere, and it's just like, before rehearsal started, so
what's this?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, that's nice, but that never turned into a song, but it had a really nice kind of feel to it, and a sound to it that I really, really liked, and it's just like we found, and when we were in New York fairly recently, where Joe lives in Astoria in Queens, yeah, and Johnny was staying with Joe, and there's like a junk shop, thrift store kind of place a couple of doors down from Joe, and they found a box of cassettes, and one of the cassettes in there was this therapy session. It was basically all the responses from your therapist on a cassette, but only the responses from him, so you could in real time as well. Yeah. It's an amazing thing.
Brilliant! Wow.
And it was just so good. And then Johnny took it home and then sent me a file of like the whole session, but with all the gaps, because like it would be in real time, so it'd be like, so how does that make you feel? And then there'd be a big gap.
Right. Yeah.
You could tell him how you felt, and he'd be going like, yeah. So that's interesting. So why do you think you felt like that? And so he'd cut out all the gaps and then put it all together, and that's what came up with it. And it was just like the whole idea of having like a cassette with a session where you just like
the response.
Yeah, like in this day and age, when you could probably have a proper session, or like a therapist session online anyway, but like the fact that someone thought, we'll make a cassette version of the therapy session, and that will help you.
Yeah, as long as you fit
So
your responses in
Yeah.
the time.
exactly, yeah. You can always pause the tape, of course,
Right,
if you really want to go off, but that was what that was, and that kind of worked out really nice, and it just had that sort of nice spooky feel to it. But yeah, that's a good tune. I like that a lot, and I want to maybe make that into a proper song one day.
So then, title track, Drool.
Yeah, this is one of the first songs we kind of got together on. I sort of, when we got kicked out of the studio and we got the new Bob joined the band, and we were going from studio to studio, trying to find a new place to rehearse that we could store our backline in. So we were changing places all the time. It was a fucking nightmare. It was horrible. But so the rehearsals were kind of disjointed, and we never felt comfortable in any place we were in. But one of the songs that kind of came out with it was Drool. Yeah, and there it is. I think it was kind of like a Bob riff. It was just a bit different for us. Just kind of. I don't think it was kind of essentially what Bob's riff was, but it's what I heard him do, and then that was the song.
Your interpretation of it.
Yeah. So it was great. But again, it was one of those ones because we were moving around so much, and not recording. Yeah, we're not recording our stuff anymore, so we had to sort of try and remember things or record them on our phones and stuff like that, which a lot, everyone has to do anyway. But it was new for us. It was just which was what we sound like anyway. But so, but.
No harsh epiphanies.
Yeah, but there you go. Again, it's just what I can hear from this garbled nonsense is that song, and that's what Drool turned into. And then Drool just I think we even started playing it in live towards the end of last year or the year before last or whatever it was, whenever gigs were, and it kind of started taking a bit of shape, and it feels good. I really like that song now.
Next thing you got the title track. There you are. There you are.
That's it, guys.
That's it, boy.
There it is. It's perfect.
Up with notes.
Yeah. That was that was a fucking silly. That was another one where I was probably just setting up in the studio, pissing about, and then I had to. We did a session for. Do you get BBC Six music over there? Do you listen to that at all?
Not really. I mean,
No.
I don't know. Stuff that gets over is, in general, haphazard and somewhat random. Makes it over, right? And
it's just a radio channel. Yeah,
I certainly know what it is, but does it have wide influence? No.
No. Well, I mean, here, yeah. I think
Not here.
pretty much everyone listens to. Yeah. But I mean, I don't really listen to a lot of radio, but I think it's great. Mark Riley has a show. And he invited us on to do a
I know Mark Riley.
session. Yeah, so we did a session for him, and he said, "Oh, can you do a jingle for the show?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I got that thing." And I did this because it was just a thing I was pissing about with in the studio, and then I made this jingle for him, and it was great. It was fucking silly, and that was that's really stupid. that should be one of our songs. but it did suffer from the that's fucking impossible to play and sing sort of thing. And that is the only song on this album that was recorded at a different studio, apart from apart from the two little songs. One of them, I Feel Fantastic, but that was recorded at a different studio with a guy called Wayne Adams, Bear Bites Horse Studios, who's a really cool chap, and and it was just a really good version of it. It was just like, we have this song kicking about, we're in the studio, let's record it, and it was, and it was a good version, even though Johnny was sick, really sick. I think he probably had COVID actually before anyone else.
Ooh, yeah, there.
But yeah, so it was just a nice version of that song. So we kept it, and Ben mixed it in the same vein as the rest of the record, and again, it's just a daft riff where I go up, Ian goes up, and I go up, and Ian goes. So it's just like one of those sort of silly things. Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah. Is there anything to the name or
Up with Notes?
Yeah.
Just because it goes up.
You're literally describing
the notes are going up, and a lot of our songs do have that kind of thing. Studio title, working title of like, what's that song? Yeah, the one that goes up.
Oh yeah. Up, but with the notes.
Up with the notes, as in
I thought it could have
not
been
the one
like,
that goes down. Yeah,
right.
The one that goes up.
I thought it could have been something like Up with People. It's like Up with Notes.
Yeah,
yes.
Well,
Down with Minimal. Ooh.
Up. Well, it is. Oh no, it was Up with notes. But now it's up, comma, with notes. That was John. I had an exclamation mark for up. Yeah. With notes. But John for some reason Johnny said there should be a comma. So, and then it became a comma. So
okay.
With notes. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Contentious punctuation. Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's what we spend our time talking about in the van.
No sad faces.
No sad faces. That is that's another how does that go? That's the in-between song. It's just I can't remember now. No Sad Faces is a line from a song later on, and really needed a title for that little segment. It was just like a little joining segment, which makes sense on the record, but it was kind of a bit last minute. No Sad Faces. That's the How About a Kiss? Yeah. How About a Kiss? That is the Brainiac, right? The band.
Actually, the surviving members have been on the show before.
Oh, cool! Yeah,
really cool and special. Right before the documentary aired, and they did a live show. Fred Armisen sang a song with them.
Oh wow!
It was, and then another time. The other time I saw them, they had a from Lung sang all the creepy songs, like the and
cool.
hope you know what I mean when I say the creepy songs, but the ones and I was like, oh, that's fantastic. That was
they're my favorite band.
They're such an incredible, amazing band.
Yeah, and that record, I didn't know until John pointed it out. John Schmershall pointed out on that documentary. It was that the budgerigar, the parakeet recording, Teach Your Parakeet to Speak record.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it was kind of like, it sounds corny, but like it was kind of a little bit of a tribute to Brainiac. Was we took a sample off that record, and it's kind of like, that's a bit of shit, they've done that. That's their find. We found the therapist session cassette. Okay. So if someone takes something off that, I'll be, whatever. That's fine. It's fair game, isn't it? But but that such a pretty bird. That song is just like, it's just so evocative. That just is brings back so many memories of Brainiac and Tim and there's amazing gigs and stuff and amazing records. And I don't know, and like then we sort of like had Johnny found the record online or whatever, and I was listening to it's just the most silly record, like the Therapist thing. It's just like teach your parakeet sing over and over again, the same thing repeated over and over again. And that one, it's just happenstance. I had it on my screen at the same time as I was sort of listening to these bits and pieces for the album and sort of just trying things out, and it was just like made a lot of sense with those noises that we had and that record, and then just like it fits really good. It fits real good, and sounds great. But so thanks to John Commercial for that,
for pointing that out. There was my first band, we found these cassettes that were like motivational cassettes, like you're meant to like play to teach you to be confident, to ask for the raise or whatever you're meant to be doing. But the guy had such a weird cadence to his voice that and I was completely obsessed with Steel Pole Bathtub to the point that I sort of like, hey, how did you do that?
Oh man,
how did you do that? And
no one talks about Steel Pole Bathtub anymore.
Fantastic. I had Mike on the show. It was wonderful. They're one of my favorite time. But I basically flat out just bothered those guys until they were nice enough to tell me how they did their tape sampling. And it was just these, I never saw them again. I like saw them at a thrift store on tour in like, I think Arizona or something. And I was like, oh, what's this? It was like, 50 cents. Great. Maybe there's something on it. And it was just this guy with like the strangest cadence to his voice. But this is like legitimately some person in the 80s put these out and like sold them, presumably.
Yeah.
People that wanted to get motivated, like before
Gold.
Tony.
There's some magical stuff, those things. Like finding that kind of stuff. It's great.
I feel like it's a little harder to find those gems now, but in a way it's easier too. It's just you there seems
because everything's on YouTube and stuff, it's just like, people find stuff and they put it on there and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wacky. And but everyone, everyone's doing it and it's like, I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
So the idea
shit out there, it's like seeing those little leaflets I was showing you earlier on. It's like look at this that we found in like, posted through my letterbox the other day. It's like, oh yeah, I know those guys. We've had those for years.
Welcome to the party. I talked to Keith Brammer about the Kreutzen. But it is kind of, I don't know. I think there are nice moments to having that cultural. Not myopia, but like lack of awareness of everything, that you can still be surprised and enchanted by something new that kind of comes. Oh my goodness! Have you check this out? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And especially when there's like a crazy backstory or something behind it. So that's great. Anyway, back to the record. So it's the Dirty Birdie.
Dirty birdie flies away. Yeah, that's just that's quite a difficult song to play. But although it's a really good fun song to play, we've never played a lot like most of these songs. We haven't played them live at all ever. So looking forward to that. Then we'll know whether they're a pain in the ass or not. We'll never play them again,
right?
But and this one, it's kind of one of those songs that we don't really do sort of quiet songs very much, and it's not very quiet.
You got a couple, but
it's got quiet bits, But it's a nice little riff. I don't know. It's and the one of the lines in it was from. From a book I've read a while ago, the Richard Brautigan, When the Wind Blows Us Away, which I think is just it was just fun. I don't know, are we allowed to steal stuff like that? But it's just such a lovely sentence. I kind of based the lyrics around that, which was kind of nice.
Well, and Brautigan was cultural shorthand in the same way of, me noticing your album cover of being like, oh, I bet boom, that's cultural shorthand that I know that I'm probably gonna,
Okay.
oh wow, cool, interesting. I'm a
Yeah.
Bradley well, so
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've read a few of these little books, and they're just amazing. I love them a lot. But like, and he comes up with some fantastic sentences. I think everyone's a bit of a. I say everyone. I mean, I am definitely a bit of a plagiarist at heart. Everyone's takes a little bit from it. You have to, right? It's like see it everywhere. I mean, like, yeah, this for example. I mean, I nicked that for for a single.
Norbert Wiener. What was it? What's the title again? It was a
Human Use of Human Beings.
Yeah.
Which is quite a well-known book, but like that cover is incredible.
Early cybernetics. Text.
Yeah. This is the design of those early editions and stuff.
Looks like it could be like a Kraftwerk record or something.
Steal that. Great sentence there, Richard Brogan. I'm going to steal that. Yeah. But hopefully it can come up with some of my own. As being triggered by Broadkin and stuff. That's what you do, isn't it? It's inspiration.
Yeah, like I said, being a cultural magpie.
Yeah. Yes.
So then it's true, man.
It's true, man. Yeah. That was the song that there's always one on the album that we just kind of what else should we do? It's like the end of the session or whatever. It's like we could really do with another song. How about this? And we play it, and it's kind of like, yep, okay, that'll do. And it's kind of like I think we did maybe 2 takes of it, and it was just like, yeah, okay, it's on tape.
Got it.
Let's move on. Next song. And so like, and then didn't really think much about it. And then Ben Turner mixed it and kind of sent the mixes back to us, and that was one of them. And it was just like, that's actually pretty good. So I forgot about that one. But having forgotten about it, I hadn't written any words for it or anything. And then when I did try, it was just like, no. Those kind of like very, very simple two note sort of fast songs, I just have a real problem getting some lyrics to or singing them and stuff. So I asked a couple of friends if they fancied having a go at it, and Tim Farthing, who used to be in Hey Colossus, and he's also in a band with Joe from Hey Colossus called Henry Blacker, who you probably know, and he's just got the I played drums with Hey Colossus for a year or so, and Tim's voice always made me smile. The gruffest
presence,
the gruffest voice ever. He's got a great sound, and so it just kind of like, I should ask him to do that, and then he did it very, very, very well.
Did you have to get
real words and everything? Yeah,
I was gonna say, did it just flow, or was there any kind of like, maybe try it like that? Or
no, not at all. No, he did his thing. The only issue, well, it's obviously like it's a song about taking acid on Christmas Day. Which is fucking great. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's gonna be fun.
But he wanted to call us. He said, "Oh yeah," and it's called Christmas Acid, and it's like, oh no, or Acid Christmas, or Christmas Acid, or something like that. So, but it was always called. It was, for some reason, I think Ian named it Truman. Like as in Truman's Water, but it doesn't sound anything like Truman's Water. It doesn't sound anything like Truman's Water, and but it just stuck. And then like my vocal attempts were, it's all about it's Truman, and then it's Truman, and then that name sticks, and then it's just like, well, if we change that fucking working title, no one's going to know what that fucking song is in the band.
Yeah.
And so I kind of say, yeah, Tim wants to call it Christmas Acid. What do you think? Yeah, it's like, can we just call it Truman still? Like, yeah, okay. So that's that story. But yeah, Tim's vocals on it are just fucking amazing, and it's like it's so nice to hear one of our songs with some really, really good lyrics and like proper structure and a proper singer. You know, it's just like, wow, fucking hell, that makes the song sound really good.
I once saw Truman's Water play a show at the local bar that was the sort of like not the best, it was very easy to get a show there. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Not a place that people went to where they wanted to see fantastic band. I was actually shocked that they played there, and I guess it was like a last minute fill-in show. But the some of the audience attendance, including the other bands, was me and like two other people, and they seemed genuinely shocked that I knew who they were and was excited to see them.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. It was great. It was a great time, and
They're such a great band, man.
Yeah.
The Spasm Smashes is one of the all-time greatest albums ever made, and yeah, just go back. I mean, I've sort of come across, you know, socially, Kevin and a few times, and you know, really nice guy, but they do crop up in the weirdest places. And like I was playing drums in a band called Penthouse fucking years ago, and we did like 3 or 4 shows with them in Italy, in northern Italy or something, and it was just the best fun. Just the weirdest set of shows I've ever played. But
they're somehow simultaneously like a big band and like completely. Yeah. I don't understand exactly how that works.
I think John Peel loved them, you know.
Yeah. Like the people that love them are all about
them. Yeah. So like, and I think they influenced a lot of bands. Yeah. You know, their sound and their style and the noises they made and the way they sang. They're just like, I think so many bands just went, what? Yeah. That's fucking great. You know, it's like, and I certainly did, you know, it's just like they're massive influence on me. It's like to the point where it's like, you know, that's a bit, I've got this Truman-y thing, you know, we're like,
True, man.
Yeah. Bless them. Yeah, there you go. Plagiarism again. But yeah. Plus their songs had so many fucking crazy little bits and pieces in them.
Yeah.
I just love that. But way too complex, you know, for like playing songs like that. So yeah, just like sort of take, you know, sort of, wow, you know, that sounds just the greatest sound. I love that spacky guitar noises.
Yeah. USSA.
I think one of my pet songs that I really like playing. I don't know why. Just like it's a bit. There's a lot of notes in it. We've realised, having to try and remember how to play these songs. Fucking what? Why did I put so many notes in this song? but it's a nice one. I like it. It's got some what I call singing in it.
I like to call it something. No one singing.
Yeah. But yeah, just another weird sort of subject wise. Just I like my local area, South London. It's got some nice weird places in it, like and I like to sing about them, like places like Peckham Rye. And I think about, you know, having like covens meeting on Peckham Rye, you know, just it's a kind of a song about that. witches in Peckham, yeah,
as one does, yes, of course,
yeah, I'm sure they're there.
Clearly. And then to round out the record, you have Worms to close out.
Worms. Yeah, this is another. I think another one of the songs we wrote with Bob, and yeah, just like nice big silly riff again. Yeah, yeah. I love Worms. I love. Who doesn't? Man?
Who amongst them?
They're asexual fucking people. Will, you know, we wouldn't be able to survive without.
They are very vital to the ecosystem and the survival of the rest of the planet. That is true.
Exactly. And they're weird.
Their song, yeah. Okay, we heard it.
No one's had they've never had a song before. Let's give them a song.
Give a shout out for the Worms, yo.
Yeah, fucking right, man. Doing a lot of work.
Did you always know that was going to be the closer?
No, for a while it was the opener. It just had that then because the intro to it was the original tune was the intro, the bit at the beginning of before it starts, and again that was something I probably done on my 4-track in my room here, you know, sort of plugged directly into Logic or whatever, and so just really sort of spazzy, fizzy guitars, which I really like, and yeah, so again a riff that was knocking about for a long time. So yeah, maybe it wasn't the Bob song, but anyway, it was a good one, and it deserved the Chimp treatment, the full Chimp.
Yeah.
But yeah, and worms are good. I like singing about invertebrates. It's a good subject. Yeah,
I'm sure they appreciate it as well. I mean,
yeah, yeah. There's lots of them out there, you know. So there's a lot of subject matter.
right. I realized I forgot to mention at the jump that when we were talking earlier on the first song, but there's that great video that you guys.
Back from the Dead one.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, like Joe organized Mike to do that. So we had, I think, because we've never really done any videos to speak of.
When I watched it, I was trying to think if I'd ever seen a video of you guys before, like a produced video.
Yeah, there's two of the 20 years we've been together. There's two videos. One for a song called War Machine, which was quite a high budget kind of affair. Just obviously we didn't pay for it, but the guy that made it was a fan and Belgian dude, and got us over to Belgium and did this fucking insane video. It's on there somewhere. It's out there
on the internet.
Part Chimp War Machine. You'll find it on YouTube and stuff. And yeah, it's really daft. This is good. And the other one was for New Cross again. That was down in Dropout, black and white things. Good fun. But yeah, for this album, because we haven't been able to do shows and stuff, we just thought let's do some videos. Joe at Wrong Speed said, I know some guys who'll do some videos for you. Shall I get them to do it? And it's like, before I knew it, there's like videos were appearing. It's just like, how about these? And it's like, yeah, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. No, it's a cool one. You know, it's good.
There's a few. Yeah, it is good. There's some good ones coming up as well. There's quite a few actually. I think there's like, if all goes to plan, there should be like five videos in total, which is berserk for us, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah. In the end, we're averaging about 10 years every video for.
Yeah. But maybe we'll do like a video album, like who does that? Beyonce, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like Beyonce.
Just like Beyonce.
And it's
Look at this.
I mentioned you mentioned New Cross, and I pulled it up to see if I remembered seeing it, which I didn't, but I did notice that there was the enviable play along song, meaning that like somebody's like playing the guitar part and showing how.
Yes, I've seen that.
Which is pretty, like, I think you have to have a certain echelon of whether they're silly or not, good riffs to reach that.
That's mad. I've completely forgotten about that. Yeah.
I forgot about it too. I was looking for it.
Who the fuck did that? That's crazy. And he probably did it in like a regular tuning, or worked it out like way better than you know. Because I'm sure he wouldn't have done it in our stupid tuning, because I don't know if anyone knew about that. But yeah, that's really funny. That's brilliant.
I saw that strangely. I've seen that, but I haven't seen the actual video. But I had forgotten about it completely because it was
check it out. Yeah, it's just us a bit younger in our old studio. Yeah, yeah. Nothing groundbreaking, but fun nonetheless. I mean, yeah, I'm hoping that there's as I said, there's some really interesting videos coming up. I mean, again, we just like gave songs to people because we haven't really, you can't get together with people to discuss stuff apart from on Zoom or whatever. But like Joe in New York has a friend, Dylan Greenberg, who makes crazy little films and like really cool little films and stuff. I mean, completely daft and silly. So he just like, yes, he should do a video for us, and he did, and it's really daft and silly, and it's great. And so that's for One in the Eye, and so that'll be coming out and nearer the time, I guess. And then hopefully some other nutty ones coming up. One for Worms is very exciting. There will be worms.
I was gonna say we'll feature the video.
Yeah.
The grand tradition.
Very sexy worms.
Well, the worms will be sexy. Oh yes, they'll be very sexy.
Oh yeah. and very real. Yeah, Craig Murray is doing that video, and then hopefully one for Clever at some point near the time. So yeah, exciting.
So it's kind of weird time just to be a human being and be alive. But as far as releasing a record, it does seem like things, at least over here, are a bit more on the upswing. Some hope in sight.
Yeah. Well, they say that. I mean, like we're actually. I think every band's booking agent has just been like, got to do something. It's like, I'm going to book you a show, guys. I'm going to book you some shows. And then it's like, I'm going to cancel those or whatever. But I think we're going to book some stuff November in the UK, and they say they're going to open everything up for the 21st of June. But I can't see that happening. Seems
ambitious.
Yes. Yeah.
I get it, but but then again, over here we're having to deal with, the my freedom, like the COVID deniers as well, which
yeah.
Idiocracy.
Well, if you wanna, risk it, you know where you can see a band. Go to Texas. Right. Well, actually, all the cities in Texas, they're saying like, fuck that.
I think you're right. I think the municipalities are all individually being like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the road.
Fucking stupid. Yeah. Go some weird, like, out of town kind of
Blues Brothers with the beer bottles being thrown against the chicken wire sort of situation.
Except it'll be like a plastic screen instead. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, we're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still getting
you guys are fucked.
Yeah. I guess when you put it that way, it's not half bad. So I mean, it's difficult to talk about future plans for much of anything.
Yeah,
right?
but I don't know. I guess things are just going to be different from now on in some way or another. But yeah, I mean, I think we're going to, for the album launch, we're going to do like I think we're going to be able to get together and film a live performance. So I think we're going to do that. That's a thing people do now.
Does seem people do, yes.
Yeah. So that'll be good. Watch a band play that hasn't rehearsed for a year.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good.
Yeah, back up to really dwell on the mistakes. Yeah. Well,
It's definitely not going to be pre-recorded.
Right. Funny. Well, and it's so. What are your thoughts then on, like live performance? Versus something of record. I mean, it hits a little differently, of course.
I mean, live is fun. I mean, recording is really good, fucking fun as well. But I think live gigs are just what we It's just the best stuff to do, isn't it? It's fun. It's kind of what we're about. As I said, like tunes evolve as you play them live, and so every gig is kind of fun as long as everything sounds right, sounds good, is loud enough, it's just so much fun to play. So I mean recording is great, but as I said, it's always usually it's never sort of like it's not a live gig, is it?
Yeah.
And so we try and make it like that, but it's always a bit too much time and effort put into making it sound how it's supposed to sound.
Right. Without
being a gig, it's like we're going to get that full experience.
It wouldn't be possible to have that same level of immediacy, but you gotta,
no.
Yeah.
We'll try.
Yeah.
Could just have a fucking tape of white noise recorded off my iPhone. That would be like a live experience. Yeah.
Was it? We talked about Cheap Thriller.
Yeah.
Was that a journey to kind of go through and pick all the stuff that ended up on that?
Well, in a little way it was, because I mean, like, as I said, when we had the studio down in Camberwell Dropout, we had, if we were writing songs for an album, we'd get our engineer friend Jerry down, and so I didn't have to do it, and just record stuff onto tape. And because he's a brilliant engineer,
right,
our demos would sound fucking fantastic,
Right. Lovely. Yeah.
So all recorded onto sort of 1-inch tape, and just really well, with these great mics and stuff, and then we'd go and record the album somewhere else or whatever, or wherever, or do it again in the studio. But so we'd end up with all these amazing sounding demos, and it's like, and as I said, like they mutate, the songs mutate, and they're sort of different, and vocals are different or whatever. So they kind of their own thing from that snapshot, of that sort of demo period, which I think is great, and I always love hearing that kind of stuff. But I'm not precious to what a song like when it's finished.
Yeah.
Even though they essentially get better and better as you play them more. But if it's a great recording, it's like, I think, it's, maybe that's a personal thing because I'm a recording engineer as well, but like, I just love the sounds that are on those sort of demos and stuff. I think that they're a little more, they're kind of raw, and like sort of like less sort of care and attention, was kind of like, it was just what it was. It's nice. It's a good thing. I think it's good. And there was a few of them kicking about, so I thought it was a cool thing to do.
Make a nice package for it. sell it to folks.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we don't have much stuff when we found out when we were going on tour and stuff, and just didn't have much merch to sell,
Right.
For whatever reason, we would never have enough records or any records to sell any vinyl, and it was just like, well, let's just make some of our own. I know, because Rock Action, I think didn't want to press more copies up or whatever. It's like, so it sold out, whatever, and we just couldn't get hold of them. And like, people want to buy stuff at gigs, and it keeps us going. That's where the income comes from, and pays for the van and the pies and sandwiches and beers and stuff. So it's like it was just great to have, make it ourselves and have this to sell, and it's great, and it's just like a limited amount. So whatever.
Did you making a real neon sign for the record cover, or is that?
Yeah. No.
I don't know. I've seen people do crazy.
Cool, isn't it? It's good. It looks amazing. I don't know why I wanted a neon sign, but my good friend Tom Buchanan, who did the artwork eventually, he's a great graphic artist in his own right, and was coming up with some brilliant things. And I said, no, I just make a neon sign. Just fucking make a neon sign. That's what I want, and it turned out really well. So
yeah, it looks awesome. No, I mean, you
I
can't
wish
argue.
I wish it was a neon sign. I wish it was a foot. So, oh yeah, I've got this thing. It's like 9 feet tall. Great.
Yeah, I normally find the where'd you get the band name question to be one of the most inane ones of all possible. But I think Part Chimp is a genuinely interesting band name. Now that it's 20 years on, right? Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. Yeah. It's debatable. I mean, we can't remember exactly, but it was basically a probably an ecstasy-fueled conversation between myself, Johnny, and our original bass player, Nick. Like, there should be a band, just what was it? It was I don't know. It was just something just ludicrous. It just sort of started off like a band of trained monkeys who play instruments. I can't remember even. It's just like one of those daft conversations, and you sort of wake up the next day. It's like, oh yeah, we can't. We said we should be a band. We should change the name to Part Chimp. And that was it. Sorry.
20 years later.
Yeah. I've been in some pretty daft band names before. So.
Well, I mean, I think it's it's evocative and interesting without doing any harm. Which is I think that a lot of times there'll be a band name and you'll be like, oh, bold choice.
Yeah.
Always mean as a compliment, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Part Chimp, it kind of sums us up in silliness more than our simian qualities.
And of course, that allowed you to do the thing that neither of us can remember the name of, where you do Chart Pimp as the title.
Yes, that was the main reason. There we go.
Yeah.
That's the actual reason.
I would put that
just so we could do that.
Right. There's the band, the Hocus Pocus by Focus. If you're familiar, by the
yes, yeah.
It's got that same alliterative.
Yes.
There is a name for this, and it's gonna wake me up tonight when I go to sleep. It's this. And
yeah. I don't know. It's probably a very long word that I can't.
anti-disestablishmentarianism, or it's German.
Not,
That's
not like that.
it could be German, but
Yeah.
anyway, doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Tim,
Cool.
hey, thank you so much for being on the show, man. It's been great.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate you staying up late to talk with me and talk to all the listeners about the new
late.
record. Drool. So
Drool.
partchimp.com. You can get it at Wrong Speed for the UK and Europe, and then Learning Curve in the US. And you got right now. You got the actual Drool. The titch Drool.
It's gonna be. These are gonna be all the rage. This is the new merch.
Is that a is that a like a mask or like
Yeah, it will be
adornment? I don't know how to.
It's just a little cutout, but yeah, maybe a mask. That'd be quite good. Kind of.
Yeah, that'll catch the attention for sure.
Quite good. It's got to have the dribbly bit. Anyway,
functional in these day and age too. So Tim, last thing I want to. It's the only canned question I ever ask folks, and you can choose to interpret it however you like. But why do you do what you do?
What is it that guy says in the swimming pool in the Decline of Western Civilization?
Oh,
because it makes me happy. Or something. Whilst pouring a bottle of vodka over his face.
it's a very iconic scene, but I remember the actions and the trappings more than the actual dialogue.
Yeah, Ian remembers the name of the band. I can't remember the name of the guy. Was it in Wasp? Was it the guy from Wasp or something?
Yeah. I think it is Wasp. White Anglo-Saxon Protestant is that.
Because it makes me happy.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Tim, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. Cheers. Thanks
Stay
a lot,
safe.
man. All right, bye-bye.
Take care. There he goes. Tim Cedar, part Chimp. Let's go ahead and let's actually play a song from Drool. This is Back from the Dead. Goes a little something like this. B2. B2. That is my part, Chimp. That is off of the record chart, Pimp. Fantastic record. Before that, we had Back from the Dead off of the awesome and brand new Drool. So get that. Wrong Speed Records in the UK and Europe. Learning Curve Records in the US. I'd like to thank my guest Tim for being on the show. It's a good time. I always appreciate when people take the time out to do some transatlantic chit-chat on the old Protonic Reversal. The name of this show is Conan Neutron's Protonic Reversal. Thank you very much for listening to it. This show airs live on the internet Thursdays. 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific.
As we come to the close of our broadcast day.
I guess that's about midnight UK time. RadioNope.com.
This is my farewell transmission.
ProtonicReversal.com for the archives. Always free, no ads, no sponsors, no kidding.
Signing off.
If you like the show,
Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea.
want to hear the episode sooner, patreon.com/ProtonicReversal. $1 a month will get you there. Early access.
I've got 50,000 watts of power.
Thanks to everyone sharing the show around. It helps. It's always appreciated. Thank you very much for doing that.
Ionize the air.
Be it on social media, email, whatever. Passenger pigeon.
This microphone
It's always appreciated.
turns sound into electricity.
Stay safe out
Can you
there
hear me now?
and take it easy.
Out on Route 128, you're dark and lonely. I got my radio on. Can you hear me now? 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 See in the radio. And that snare drum and that drum roll means we've got a winner. If you're the fifth caller, or any caller at all, welcome to my top 10. I'd like to thank our sponsor. But we haven't got a sponsor. Not if you were the last man on earth. She was prepared to prove it. This one goes out to a special girl. But there is no special girl. It's the end of radio. The last announcer plays the last record. The last what? Leaves the transmitter. Circles really broadcasting if there's no one there to receive? It's the end of radio. As we come to the close of our broadcast day, got my radio